After a sumptuous breakfast at the hotel, we began our journey from Yerevan, setting off on a long but beautiful drive to Tbilisi. As we left the city limits, the urban landscape gave way to open countryside, and soon we were passing areas where dark volcanic stones were being excavated. These stones, rich in texture and character, are often used in place of granite in Armenian architecture. Their earthy tones and rugged surfaces seem to blend seamlessly with the mountainous surroundings. As we continued climbing higher, the scenery gradually shifted. The sky grew paler, the air cooler, and the snow capped mountains came into view. Snow began to appear along the roadside, and the chill in the air grew sharper. With each kilometer, the landscapes became more magical, and the excitement among us grew. We soon passed an impressive number of polyhouses, greenhouses built to shield crops like beetroot and other vegetables from the harsh winter. These structures enable year round farming despite the severe cold, a testament to the region's agricultural resilience. The roads were well constructed, smooth, and safe, even in such challenging terrain. Eventually, we reached Lake Sevan, one of the world's largest high altitude freshwater lakes, perched at nearly 1,900 meters. The view was spectacular. White snow blanketed everything, and the lake shimmered beneath the pale winter sky. We stopped by the lakeside, where the beach was entirely covered in snow and ice. Though the waters were icy and uninviting, we stayed to take it all in. We shared a steaming cup of black coffee while watching the frozen waves and laughed together as we playfully threw snow at each other. The air was crisp, the mood cheerful. It was an unforgettable moment. On the hill above us, the Savannahvank monastery stood with quiet grace, its silhouette etched against the snowy horizon. Though we didn't climb up to visit it, the sight of the monastery, with its historic black tough stone walls, was striking and serene. Continuing our journey along the lake shore, we stopped at a roadside store where lavash, the traditional Armenian flatbread, was being freshly made. Inside the small shop, we watched the bakers skillfully prepare the dough and slap it against the hot walls of the tonnier, a clay oven. The warm aromatic bread was comforting, and we savored it standing in the snow, surrounded by laughter and good company.
The ice will also persuade the asphalt. So that's why every year we have this process of making new asphalt. But yeah, so sometimes even
We then approached the Diligent Tunnel, a marvel of engineering carved through the mountains, stretching over 2.3 kilometers.
okay, so this is the end of the tunnel. The light is seen.
Emerging on the other side, we were greeted by snow covered forests, trees cloaked in white, and a landscape that looked straight out of a fairy tale. We paused to take pictures, shake tree branches to create snow showers, and enjoy yet another round of playful snow. We soon entered Dilijan, a charming resort town often called the Switzerland of Armenia. Walking through its preserved old quarter, we came upon a kachkar, a traditional Armenian cross stone, beautifully carved and, interestingly, with a face etched in its center that seemed to watch over travelers. Along the roadside, we spotted pulpulaks, Armenia's iconic water fountains, offering fresh spring water, a symbol of the country's generous spirit. Legion was at the Tun Armeni guest house, located on Kamarini Street, surrounded by the calm of nature and traditional Armenian charm. More than just accommodation, Tun Armeni offers an experience, a cozy retreat where handmade decorations, wooden interiors, and a peaceful garden create a warm, homely feel. The staff were exceptionally kind and attentive, and the views from the property overlooked the gentle slopes of the surrounding forested hills. We enjoyed a hearty, locally inspired meal at their in house restaurant. Dishes like sweet gata and beetroot salad with cheese and ricotta stood out for their freshness and authenticity. Tun Armeni is not only a guest house, it also functions as a co working space, attracting creatives and travelers who seek serenity along with connectivity. It's the kind of place where you feel both at home and inspired.
Yeah, so let's at 1:30, half past one, we have the car, yeah, then 5 minutes to. Yeah, so I'll be there at the car is on the other side, I'll be at the top. Yeah.
Following lunch, we visited the Haghartsin Monastery, a 13th century spiritual retreat hidden deep in a forested valley. As we explored the grounds, we were fortunate to witness a baptism ceremony in progress. Candles flickered, ancient hymns echoed through the stone halls, and the families, dressed in their finest, added warmth and vibrancy to the sacred moment. One of the highlights of Haghartsin was the refectory, a beautifully preserved dining hall once used by priests and monks in training. The space was quiet and solemn, with long stone tables where they would gather for lunch and dinner. At one end of the hall stood a distinguished chair for the head priest, slightly elevated, signifying his role as both spiritual leader and teacher.
So they use
Here there was a very big walnut tree, there are many more, as you can see. Now it is burned. Yeah. You wanna take-
Als in huis gezogen, als in thuis niks staan wil steken, die wolga, dat is zagen voor.
It was humbling to stand in a room that had once echoed with the teachings and discussions of those in religious life. As evening approached, we made our way to the Armenia Georgia border. At our final stop, we freshened up and bid a warm goodbye to our wonderful driver and guide. who had journeyed with us throughout Armenia. I took a few photographs at the border, but due to security protocols, the police asked me to delete all video footage. So those last moments remain only in memory. And so we stepped across the border into Georgia, carrying not just our luggage, but a treasure trove of memories, of snow covered landscapes, centuries old monasteries, the warmth of Armenian hospitality, and a journey that was as soulful as it was scenic. It was truly an experience to cherish forever.